So it's 2008. I'm at the Sundance Film Festival. I'm 25 years old, and this feels like a dream come true for me. Ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be an actress. I wanted to do something in movies, TV, film, Hollywood, but I grew up in the Chicago area, in the suburbs, in the Midwest, and that felt like a really far away, impossible dream. But needless to say, I still did a lot of acting in grade school and high school. But when I got to college, I was strongly encouraged, mostly by my mother, to do something practical because college is expensive. And so I got a degree in marketing. But then after college, I did end up moving to California, nothing to do with acting. I actually very much forgot about that for years and wasn't thinking about that. But I was living in Northern California for a job. I lived in San Jose, and I worked as a youth group coordinator at a church. So there was like 100 teenagers. I met with students, met with parents, preached little sermons, made funny videos for them. And I did that for about a year. And after a year, the main youth pastor ended up getting a job somewhere else. And so they were talking about promoting me to that position. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but I have a degree in marketing. I did go to a Christian college, but I don't feel very qualified for this. So I was like, I need to go to seminary. So I started to go to seminary, and there were only a few classes that could fit in my schedule with the youth group because it was so crazy. And it just so happened that one of the classes that fit in my schedule was called Theology and Film, and it was going to be at the Sundance Film Festival for 10 days where you just saw movies and wrote papers about them, and I'm like, that sounds amazing. So I felt a little bit bad about it because I was raising support from people at the church to go to seminary, and I'm like, people are about to pay for me to go to Sundance for free? That's kind of crazy. But I was like, it's part of the degree, and I'm not going there for anything to do with film. I'm going there for God. I'm going there because I work at church and I'm getting a degree in theology, so it's fine that they're giving me this money. So I went there. I absolutely just loved it. I loved waiting in the super long lines for the movies and talking to all the actors and directors and musicians, and I was just having such a blast. And it was crazy because we would wear the name tags with the lanyards, and it would say what organization you were with, and mine said Fuller Theological Seminary, which was a great conversation starter because people would be like, wait, why are you guys here? But it was really fun, and they would bring the directors to our class to talk to us about their movies. And so one of the directors was Courtney Hunt. She directed a movie called Frozen River. It was really good. And she came to our class and she talked about the movie, and she talked about how she made the movie, which was really cool. She actually used to be a lawyer, but then she went back to school for film when she was 40, and her husband helped her raise money to do a short film and then make it into a feature. And I was just so inspired by her. So afterwards, after she was done speaking to our class, I went up to her and just told her how much I loved the movie, how much I loved her story. I got a picture with her and one of the actresses, and then I was gonna walk away. But then she looks at me dead in the eye and was like, what do you want to do with your life? And I was just like, what? I was like, well, I work in church ministry, I'm going to seminary, obviously. But then all of a sudden I found myself being like, but I love acting and I love writing and I love movies and TV and I love your story and it's so inspiring. And she was like, so have you ever acted in film before? And I was like, I've done student films, but I've done mostly theater and plays. And she's like, oh, you should send me your headshot and your reel because I might be interested in you for my next feature. And I was like, okay, I don't even have those things. But I was like, oh yeah, totally. So she starts telling me about the movie, and it's gonna be this period piece set in New York. It's gonna be a teenage Irish girl, and I was 25, but I looked really young at the time, and I'm 41 right now, so people tell me I look young. But so yeah, it was crazy, and my friend was standing next to me, and what else was crazy is I was going through a really awkward phase of my life where I didn't feel very pretty and had a lot of acne, and the fact that she was talking to me like that was just, it felt so crazy. And she gave me her information, phone number and email for her assistant, and then we started to walk away. Me and my friend who was standing next to me were walking away, and my friend was like, that was so cool. I was like, I know. And what was crazier was Courtney Hunt ended up winning the Grand Jury Prize that year at Sundance, and her movie got nominated for Best Original Screenplay for an Oscar. And I was like, I can't believe this woman spoke to me like that. And so after I got back home to California, I was just my brain was going crazy. I did stay in touch with her and her assistant, but they never actually ended up making that movie. But that moment for me was just I felt like it was God speaking to me through her, and he was like, what do you want to do with your life? You can do anything. And I just felt all this courage. So I went back to my church job, and I never took the promotion. I completely quit the job. I became a substitute teacher so I could have flexibility and did a ton of acting in short films and student films in San Francisco for a year. And then a door opened for me to move to LA. I moved to LA to officially pursue acting and pursue my dreams. And I'm still in LA now on my creative journey, and I'm just so thankful for that life-changing moment.
Keep it going for Tracy. Yes, yes, yes. Look at God sending people to Sundance. Amazing.